People wonder what is the Lion's Gate, and they know it as a doorway of blessings, golden ones, aligning with yours that are true. And there's a bit of a wishing doorway there. It's a harvest gate. And I'm wondering, what I can answer. People are asking me, and I am a healer, a practitioner of natural medicine. And on that path, I've learned lineage and their cultural orientations. And then I've lived with that in my clinics, seeing people holistically in transits of stargates and in timings, absolutely mirroring that on the land in their bodies, in their illnesses that express the cosmos in those stars. I mean, it's incredibly true, inside and outside the clinic, how real astrology is as a map of orientation. And um, the Stargate of the Lion's Gate is 8/8, and it's actually the birthday of my sister. What? She was even born in 80. So she was 8 on 8/8/88. Like, she's a super amazing Lions Gator. So my first answer to that question of what is the Lions Gate is my sister. You have to meet her. Everybody, wow, raise their hands to her for a minute. But even her name is Anna, which in our ancestral uh, Gaelic, I think it was, I can't remember which country and which nation this is from, but Anya is the goddess of the sun. I think it's Irish. Anyways, Anya, goddess of the sun. And yes, she is. Anyways, so 8/8, it's like we all embody that in ourselves there. Whatever that is for you. Try to invoke my sister. Her favorite book as a child was this book called When the Sun Rose. And it was about this child, this little girl who she glowed, and she had a house full of roses and lions, and they all glowed. It was a wonderful book to read, and it was definitely a Lion's Gate. Like, you're just feeling your glow up, getting your glow on, radiance, you know? Isn't it nice? And no, I mean, lions spend a lot of time lying around. They're receiving their blessings. You know what I mean? They're enjoying it. They're stretching out into both ends of it. Just, they're like receiving in a way that's giving it. Do you know what I mean? That's how you receive and give both ends. You're like, oh, yes, please. And I'm enjoying my body there. Thank you. So you just have all the please and thank yous, and you give and you serve, and you are that gift of that. Anyways, this is called an exaltation. It's called a party, You be the party. The thing is about the Lionsgate that I love to really reflect on is the history thing and how it ties with the biology with the astrology. This makes the mythology that I love to live in this stuff for. The truth weaving here is that historically this comes from astrology from the Nile Delta area, where the star of Sirius, 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 and yes, from Harry Potter, like the name of the Godfather, it's the heart of the dog star. Is it the heart? I believe it's the heart. There's a constellation of the dog, and or is it, yeah, and it's the wolf, or sorry, it's the dog star's heart. Okay, so it's really blue colored, and it's one of the brighter stars, and so it's one of the ones that really guides people because you can see it along with some of the other more bright stars. So this one, when it reveals itself in the Nile, historically, its alignment was aligned with the harvest date orientation of the Lion's Gate, where the Nile flooded. So when Sirius appears in the sky, in the heart of the dog star's heart appears in the sky, the Nile floods. And Man, oh man. All right. There's so many reasons that makes me emotional. Doesn't it make you emotional? That is so poetic. The thing is the heart of our truth, and the heart of the truth of the matter, okay? That's what that is. That is so deep. Now, I'm a very Aquarian person, and so this is a very Aquarian thing, I think, the idea of collectives and pack, and how the individual is in a community, and how that is unified and woven through the heart, and it is a very soulful connection, and it's so deep, and it gives you who you are, and it shows up for you in a very real way. It's the heart of the matter, the heart of the truth of the matter. So that beautiful blue star in the heart of the dog that floods the Nile and the earth is what's really real about what's real, you know? And I like to think about, in August, all these flowers that are becoming seeds. And they're maybe by August remembering how they were one seed, and now they're just this whole seed head of 100, and they're just like, we didn't know how we were gonna get here, but by 8/8 we're at our harvest. We're getting ready for our harvest, because I think it's Virgo that harvests, but a lot of the times, and you just have this moment to radiate and be that lion gate of your own body arrived in its full bloom in the lion's gate. And what you can feel there is these moments in your life when you are at your full bloom, and you are with your seed head, and you are in that, you're remembering the plan that made you, how you multiplied times 100 from where it started, trembling alone in the dark unknown, trusting the soil and time around it to be the path needed to arrive here. And here you are, extending out your rays of truth in this fully formed moment of multiplying of that plan, and that spiraling out of exaltation. You're like receiving the truth of the heart of the matter, which is that you made it against all odds. You didn't know, and it happened this way. And when you're in that moment of being that flower, you have a deep relationship with seeds. You might think of the young ones, you might think of the ones that you like, you literally are plump, you're a seed head, you know, at that moment, thinking about how each one of them is going to be alone next year doing it again. And when you're the one that's the seed head, holding each one in the past and each one in the future as they're alone, solitary, and when you're all in the seed head bundle, and you can feel that, I don't know, the seed head bundle, to me, it holds the vulnerability of the solitary in this huge group moment. It's like, it reminds me of a bunch of gamers who've just been depressed about their lives. The only thing happiness is to them is their community online gaming, and they're in an international community and they game all night, and then the rest of the world, then they hate. Okay, this is maybe a lot of people's lives these days. The last 15 years, this might have been 20 years, this might have been a lot of people's lives. But imagine this one, alone, solitary in the dark, just like getting together at some point in person with people they'd played with and had that much level of connection with and survival within this world in a very real way, in the heart of the matter, right? Say they got back together maybe after a few years and they actually met. I don't know if they would like it, because maybe the whole point is it's a surreal community, but I think there's something that I'm just getting to. Maybe you can understand. It's like, yeah. When you're with your memories, in a futurism they trembled in fear about. And you are the remembering of their hope, because that comes with fear. You are their hope bloomed, out of fear. And you multiplied and you became that fertile place. And this is why I think that it's amazing that the Nile floods into the fertile agricultural plains, one of the most fertile places in the country, massively, massively historically abundant agricultural area and lineage and geography. And this whole relationship with the Nile is absolutely incredible, what it represents in terms of fertility and the cosmology and geology of our planet. So, in history and everything, how much that flooded very much fertile connections around the world through culture and people. It's just an incredible fertile crescent, fertile river, and fertile myth for us all to reflect on that star and this moment when you're like, wow, this is the truth. And it's emotional because you hold all the emotions at once of gratitude, pride, fear. You remember your joy and pride is matched, it's mirrored and made by that fear, that unknown, that solitary place you had to face in darkness to become a bright thing that's bloomed and grown into all this abundance and gifts. Like, this is from one plant that landed and dreamed into that blooming and grew and just went through it to do it. And when you think back, I don't know, that's what the flooding of the Nile is, that really waters the seeds, is that every year, the heart of the matter of our harvest makes us weep over our seeds. We are the seed bundle, the seed head, weeping over our seeds. We are the flower head weeping over our seeds. People wonder about manifestation because they use the lion's gate as a kind of gate to orient to manifestation, to blessings, which is great. You got to do that. It is that. That's what we really celebrate there, and we connect to that there. And what the energy is of manifestation is basically the technology of celebrating and connecting. And so you can harness this beautiful golden celebratory connective kind of Lionsgate 8-8 energy and go golden, you know? And once you know what this is, once you've lived it, once you understand it, you can access this anytime. Like my sister, she just lives in that every day. She is that. You should see her life. Oh my gosh. She decided very young that she was going to be rich. So she was a really, really great academic. She was valedictorian of her high school. For her grades, she had outstanding grades. And then she went on to become an obstetrician gynecologist and help women's health, transgender health especially. She was a trailblazer in that field, and helped bring many lives into the world and many people into health in very vulnerable situations, and did incredible heroic work. She's a hero. She's also a mom. She's also a good wife and sister. She's an incredible older sister. The ways that she held me in heroic ways, I mean, I can't even begin. So okay, you had to channel her, okay? And she did become rich. She's a doctor. She travels. She's really good at planning her life. Her kids get her go all around the world. She's a total hero. Everybody wins with her. She's the leader. She'll take care of you. She'll take care of everybody. She creates abundance for herself and others, and she really enjoys it. And she's always knowing how to rest, and she's always reading good books. I don't know how she has time to live all her heroisms. She's also a great cook and she's learning piano. I really don't get it, but she does all this. Oh, she also is like super. She's into the athletics of her kids on her own sports team at one point. I don't think anymore, but she also is constantly training her body with kettlebells. Like she just busts into that all the time, regularly every day. She does all this. On her birthday this year, well, it was the day before her birthday, but we were celebrating her party that day. She went to work and saw 27 patients. And I said, how was your work day? And she said, oh gosh, they added 2 patients. I was like, oh, really? So what, 29? I try to imagine what she does in a day, and I can't. It's like looking at a big tree, you know? I stare at it, but I still can't really understand it. I'm so amazed by it. I'm in awe of it. It's too big to conceive of, but I love it. You know, it's the best thing to look at. I just look at a big tree endlessly, just same way as I look at my big sister endlessly in awe. I mean, she's amazing. Oh my God. Oh my God. I'm beyond proud of her and also beyond just like amazed. So I invoke her, like that which is her. We can all do this. I have my own version. I'm not her. I am my own version of hero, and I know how to like channel my awe for her and her awesomeness, right? So we are basically manifesting by going golden in the heart of the truth of the matter, flooding from our own stars over our seeds, you know, which are all our hopes and memories and fears of the unknown that we trembled about alone, and then have grown, and then that axis of yearning of that and of gratitude and awe and mixed with fear and pride and the whole emotional trajectory of the journey that holds the tension of this polarity. I mean, the whole thing, when you're weeping over your seeds, by the time you're at 8-8, you're that bloom. It makes a crowd want to weep. It actually, one thing, one plan, one dream, one person has grown an entire ecosystem and crowd and party. Like, if you wanted to take all the people in my sister's life and put them together, you'd have to put her patients in and their families and all the people in her kids' lives and their families and everyone in our big family and their families and all her friends and their family. You would fill up a stadium and she'd walk out in the center of it and the whole thing would erupt. Okay? And people would be crying because I'm going to get, oh man. I got to walk my sister down the aisle when she got married. I mean, I'm crying now. Oh my God. She actually let me do that. She wanted me to do that. I also got to read her a poem and be the tranny of honor, which you can't say the word tranny anymore. People said that was offensive. I loved that word when it was used as a trans person. Anyways, I was the tranny of honor for my sister's wedding. Take it or leave it. Before that went out of fashion. And I wrote a poem. It was amazing. And actually, when I wrote my poem and read it at the wedding, people cheered. And that was her gathering of her life, closest to that stadium that I just made up, you know, up to this point. And yeah. And people cheered after it. And my brother-in-law high-fives me, like, at the altar. I mean, what a moment. Sorry, but that moment's amazing. Like, for me and my sister, we used to play this game, which probably many of you did, called Mashio or whatever, where you're like, this is who you're going to marry, this is where you're going to live, this is how many kids you're going to have, this is what... And you kind of do this whole spirally thing, and then everybody, it's like an oracle, and everybody's like, ooh, this is your fates. And it's a fate-telling game that kids do. It's cool. That's the thing. We all played those games together, right? We were seeds together doing that. And then the real heart of the matter is sometimes you get to that moment where you see where the seeds grew and the garden, and you're in the garden with your mates who you did that with, and you are like crying because you're like, oh my God. Like, actually, this is what it is, and it's so beautiful. So, anyways, this is how you manifest. The thing is, people are like, oh, how do I do manifestation? Well, you have to have real emotions. And that's something that we're really undernourished with as a culture. I feel it's been really lost in a lot of ways and separated from in the hustle and haste to produce, but improve and earn and everything that we have to in these survival games that have been real encrypted and scripted for way too long. They're just made up, by the way. It's just a game. It's just an act. It's just an invented experiment that's temporary. There have been way more games than this that have way more ways to play. And we're getting back to a lot of them and weaving them into this interesting place, which is great. I think there's going to be a revival of some of these amazing ancient ways of cultivating real emotions where we can really manifest real desire, real hope, real flowers, real gardens, and really cry over every emotion. Let the Nile flood, because the fertility is from the flooding. We have that term flooding, and it's about weeping. It's about when you spill over because you can't help it, because you have so many feelings there. That passion and that realness is what we need to feed our fertile soils with, to feed and carry our seeds into the earth with. That gate, the lion's gate, is your heart in the sea of its floodings, its memories, its memory body. It's memory bodies and floodings and spillings overs. That which makes you cry in all the good ways that we cry. For sadness, which is just about love, and healing. That's why we cry for sadness. We cry in celebration and love and healing and connection, reverence, longing. The word belonging? Longing shows you who you are. Like in COVID, what did you miss? Well, that's who you belonged with, or what you belonged with, where you belonged with. I mean, this is deep. And the thing is you can't really fake tears. You can, but like we in manifestation understand that it's energetic, that it's actually about fates, justice, real things, what's in the dark, what's hidden, the whole truth is what's powerful and makes it. And so we have to have real experiences with real emotions. And the thing is it's worth it because of that. It's hard to be a hero. What my sister does is hard. It's so hard. That's why she physically trains. It is so physically hard to do her job. And it is just so emotionally hard to do her whole life. She lost herself a million ways and had to find it. I mean, she had to fight every way there is to fight. It is hard to live real experiences and have real emotions in real life and be that heroic. Holy. She is tough. And it makes you tough to have passion like that and to have leadership and be that real and do it. And to walk your fear out across its golden shadow, out of its dark shadow, into its twin, which is this horizon reaching there for you, giving you a very loyal golden path in front of you as the futurism to walk into. We don't talk about it as much, but the one that's the other half of the dark shadow, which is our memory bank, which we can face backwards at and always be in, is going and walking towards its golden shadow, which the horizon's giving it, which is all that golden potential of the sun. This is the solar energy at the Lion's Gate we're connecting with, and we get that halo and that mane and that glow up, and we walk into the truth there being offered to us out of our shadow as the other half of it. And you can choose which way to face. But if you're in the 8-8 gate and you're in that lion energy, face forward, face your golden shadow, go golden, and radiate out of your fears, be that transmutational gate, and walk into the visionary heroism of what you're proud to walk for and walk into for every day, out of darkness and out of challenge and limitation and fear and unknown solitary places. They're yearning and they're longing into their belongings, growing, growing abundance and fertility, and then, arriving. This is my mythology. This is how I weave it all together. I understand that you need to really have real emotions to manifest, and real experiences to have real emotions. And so it's a little bit of a chicken and the egg thing, but what I can offer is that you can start wherever you are to be that Lion's Gate every day. And say, I am actually really heroic. And name the things you're fighting for, that are fighting you back, that are the heart of the matter, the truth of it, and let yourself flood. Let yourself honor and be with and harvest the flowers in their pride of that really bloomed out of these fears, and feel into what your fears were, your unknowns, your hopes, your dreams, what your plans were to grow into what. If you can stand in your garden and be this flower head weeping over your seeds, and be that seed, be every part of it, we're always able to manifest from here, from true love. The strongest emotions are real ones that are life affirming. And life affirming does include destruction, decay, entropy, death, decomposition, reincarnation. It's all part of life affirmation. So if you're at a space where, things are in some of those decompositional fertility cycles, then try to learn from some of the death pollinators of the world. There's a whole bunch of fertility in it, like the mycelial world teaches us that. The world of wolves, speaking of canines, and the ones that clean up and that, searching for the word, like the corvids, like the crows and all that, they're cleaning up. They're like dealing with death, like vultures, ants, insects, wasps. These are beautiful messengers of the pollination side of death. It holds a balance in the ecosystem, and don't worry too much about, the fact that right at the Lion's Gate, it's right before the harvest. I mean, this is right at the end. Don't fear these things, do it anyways, even if, I don't know what I'm trying to say here, but I think that the real thing is that we have powerful lives from wherever we are, and can give them their power by being proud of them, owning our pride right in the heart of the matter of our stories, our truth, living right in the heart of the matter, and being that courageous, real anchoring of real emotion on the earth. It's bringing alive the ancient sacred wells when we do this, when we are this. They are brought alive through our bodies in memory of all the sacred lands we come from, and when we bring them alive with real relationship, we are redeemed, and the world is brought more alive. And if we can live in that, bring that to our world, we get to be like that book that's my sister's favorite book, where everybody's glowing. You get to live in houses full of roses and lions, and just drink cream every day, and honey, and have little cakes and stuff, and just radiate. And from there, more grows more. That just goes golden, and then all the colors. Anyways, it's like bringing the spiritual dream to the earth and embodying it. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful, beautiful wish come true kind of feeling. So be in the birthday cake and the wish come true, and smile, say cheese. Blessed be, bless the bees, be well.